Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick Vanilla Café candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the Vanilla Flankers collection for 2025, which builds on the Vanilla Romance base fragrance, and then we have Vanilla Café and Vanilla Ease, and this is supposed to be the sort of coffee infused vanilla fragrance, taking inspiration from Vanilla Romance. And so the notes on this read: smooth espresso, whipped vanilla, and toasted hazelnut. And yeah, oh my god, I'm so bummed. This has so much promise. The packaging on the body care and stuff is so juicy with the swirling brown, coffee and milky aesthetic to it. And just the name and the concept seem so enticing. But for me, somebody who likes more, I guess, unique and different fragrances, this is just so incredibly basic. But if you're Bath and Body Works and you're trying to create something that targets 8 out of 10 customers and want to create something that's more safe in mainstream and mass appeal, more palatable and inoffensive, then I guess this does that trick. But yeah, I was just hoping for something that was a little bit more roasty in the way of an actual espresso or coffee note, and I was also hoping for something that a little bit more elevated in a body care type of way, where there was more of a, I guess, perfumey, floral or woodsy undertone to it. But I guess for people who do complain about the body care fragrance it's not being gourmand enough and being too perfumey, this will actually be, I feel more palatable in a gourmand type of way, where you don't get those weird perfumey undertones that a lot of people complain about. But because of that, I feel it's just a little bit more basic and lacks the impact that I was hoping for. But what does it smell like? Basically, you get a heavy emphasis on more of the flavorings that you would shove into a coffee drink rather than the actual coffee roastiness itself, which also kind of explains why there's blonde roasts out there that are supposed to kind of tame that roasty intense acidity, and so it's kind of that, where it's okay, it is coffee, but let us strip away all the characteristics of making it bold and aromatic and give you this instead. So yeah, so you get the hazelnut sort of creamy nuttiness is in there for sure, and then I get heaps of this mocha chocolate sort of cocoa note in there, which I think that is what's supposed to kind of imply coffee without actually being coffee, because a lot of times coffee fragrances do have sort of a chocolate undertone to it, but you get sort of a mocha creaminess in here, but it's combined with heaps of this almost vanilla whipped cream action, which of course makes sense because it is called Vanilla Cafe and it's supposed to build on top of the Vanilla Romance vanilla strengths. And so you do get heaps of this sort of just creamy vanilla action that's then accented by hazelnut in sort of a mocha moment. I don't really get anything roasty in a Paris Cafe type of actual coffee beans brewing or an espresso note, where it has that roasty feel to it, where sometimes coffee fragrances can kind of come off smelling a little bit skunky in the way that it's like a coffee grounds type of way. You don't really get that in there, and I guess for it being a more palatable body care fragrance, it makes sense that maybe they wanted to create something like this rather than something more specifically coffee. But I don't know, with it being called cafe and calling out smooth espresso, I was hoping for a little bit more coffee. But in a body care context, perhaps this is a little bit more safe and makes sense, but in a candle context, I guess I'm a little bit bummed. But I guess fresh brewed coffee and Paris Cafe do exist, so if you're looking for more of that real coffee moment, then those candles do exist. I feel brown sugar latte is just a superior, I guess, home fragrance format for what this is supposed to create, and I feel brown sugar latte very much had a creamy, nutty hazelnut plus brown sugar note, and then had quite a bit of a perfumey body care undertone to it, which, even though that wasn't actually body care, it smelled more body care than this Vanilla Cafe candle does. But yeah, brown sugar latte, I feel it's just a superior fragrance in candle format or candle applications. But that was just so incredibly sooty and such a dirty burn that it was just so hard to get through. But in any case, yes. So if you're looking for something a little bit more just creamy and smooth and inoffensive and not overly roasty in a Paris Cafe freshly brewed coffee type of way, then check this out. But for me, it's just a little bit too bland and basic for me to really get into it. So total one and done for me. As for the performance, this is a third burn. It has a thick rope-like wicks on it. Just make sure you're trimming them and it's good to go. In terms of the throw, oh my God, this is so incredibly light. It's just like on top of the fragrance being a little bit like more basic than I was hoping for, the throw on it is just so incredibly weak. I mean, I would say like a 1 to a 2. I like had this going in like different houses too, because I'm like, maybe my house is just like not conducive to candle burning, but like I'll have like white pumpkin going, I can smell it no issue, or like the sugar spell sweets and I can smell that. But like this and the vanilla E's are so incredibly light. I would say, yeah, no more than a 2 in a small bedroom. And so like I cannot smell it in an open concept area. And like Vanilla Romance was really weak last year too. So I guess it's not surprising that the flankers are also going to be equally weak. But sometimes like coffee fragrances can be quite strong and intense and bold. And so I was hoping for that in this. But because this does actually lack a true espresso note and it's more so an emphasis on sort of the mocha creaminess, it does definitely like lack a punch that I was expecting from a sort of coffee fragrance. So it's most certainly like the light range. It's just like quite unsatisfactory and like bordering like Yankee Candle levels. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of light throwing candles from Bath and Body Works lately. And sometimes I try to think like, okay, am I just getting like, you know, nose fatigue because I'm just burning candles so much? But no, because like you'll still go back to your tried and true like heavy hitters and those perform fine. But then there's like stuff like this that I just cannot smell. So yeah. Overall, personally, for me in a home fragrance application, this kind of misses the mark, especially because it's so incredibly light. The hand soap is plenty strong though, although a bit like sort of basic, but it still smells scrumptious and kind of yummy, and at least there's enough of a strength like fragrance payoff. So the hand soap exists. I haven't tried the body care, but yeah, if you enjoy vanilla, what is it, that vanilla mocha martini thing? And then there was the vanilla mocha cafe, those body care fragrances that came out. This is kind of very much in line with that. So if you're missing that from a body care standpoint, then I would check this out. But from a candle standpoint, I personally would not recommend this. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.